Alright, go. Alright, hello everybody. I'm here. I'm gonna draw a raven. There we go. I'm gonna draw a raven and live my best life over here. I'm gonna try to get this here so you guys can see my raven. There. My drink here. Lost my other drink some water along the way. Yeah, the other day. But I'm excited about this. I've been trying to figure out how to get a raven drawn. Alright, this is a little better. Okay. And here's my live stream cat over here. Okay. There she is. All right. Go and empty this. A little garbage over here. I always save my little extra garbages for the occasion. Oh, hey, Karan. How you doing? Oh, please and thank you. You have a lot of financial problems, Karan. I'm worried about you. Is people putting you in debt or something? I worry about you. You are my friend. But I will do one for your in the next few days. I'll see what I can do with that. I'm going to try to execute a raven. I've been trying to draw a raven for a while. Ravens are very hard to draw. So. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, Zoya. You're still on Zoya. Okay, there's my live streaming kitty. Okay, I get it, Angel. I get it. Because every time I come up here, she goes right up on my studio couch and likes to bother the hell out of me. But here she goes. Now she's walking back this way. The animal kingdom really loves me. All right, Karan. Your financial, you got a full moon in Taurus. And this talks about dreams having practical plans. And practical plans that would be, in your case, having with your money problems. So that's pretty much what that means. Maybe like structure your money or just invest or something. Oh, excuse me. Then you got a south node. And this talks about not letting your past hold you back. Maybe past investments, bad decisions, and things of that sort. What do you need, Angel? You're okay. And then you got a blue moon also, and just it means believe in impossible things. It's like a hope card. It doesn't say that you're not going to have money, but there's probably going to be a situation where you have to maybe fix things a little bit around something before you get the money or something. I'm going through that too, Karan. I got to sue my stepsister's husband for thousands of dollars that he took from my dad. So you're not the only one, trust me. All right. Anshman. Oh, thank you for saying I'm beautiful. I appreciate you. I just do basic hairstyles and try to look halfway decent because it is YouTube. There's lots of people over here doing lots of stuff. And Lots of them are truly talented, so what can you do? I'm a basic person. I'm very, I'm not extra. I just live in a rescue zoo over here. All right, Anshman, you want to know if Zoya is going to give you commitment. Oh, I will. He had fish today. Mr. Chong gained weight, so I gave him just fish with it and mixed it in with his dog food because it's protein and it's less fattening because he gained like 6 pounds, and I'm not trying to have him overweight. All right, so let's talk about this commitment thing here. All right, you got a full moon in Gemini on a Gemini Unchman, and this talks about answers that are coming to you, which is good. Then you got a void or course moon. This just means that the outcome that you thought you were going to get is not going to happen. Then you got a full moon in Aries with this, which talks about things coming to an end. It doesn't always, I mean, yeah, Aries is the fire sign, but it just could mean that it's just not, when things sometimes come to an end, it's never a good, happy moment. It's always some kind of negative energy. So, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like you are going to get that commitment, but I'm sure you'll find someone. She had, oh, well, thank you. I do take care of myself. I try. I try to eat healthy, and I gave up a lot of bad stuff. I drink pop, but not very often. But I try. And I appreciate your comment, Karan. And then shoe nice or shoe niece or shunts. I don't know. I think it's that. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but you want a general reading. Oh, the other queen. Yeah, we had the one queen for the longest time. Now there's two. One with a lot of ends. I must be getting popular. Two queens. And a pauper. Me. Look at that. Laugh out loud. All right. All right, Shunts or Shunts. I'll call you. I don't have a nickname for you yet, but I'm sorry, but I'll find one for you if you come back. All right, your general readings in a new moon in Gemini. You also got a communication card, and then you got a full moon in Capricorn, which signifies you're at the end of a tough cycle. Very interesting. And then you got a full moon eclipse also. And this talks about conclusions that are coming to you soon. So I'm feeling that this tough cycle most likely started with somebody that deceived you. I'm figuring out it might be a romantic type thing. It feels romantic, almost, or something of that sort. And then you get a conclusion, so. But yeah, I'm seeing that, and my suggestion with this kind of reading would be to possibly I would just try to rejuvenate my energy if I was you. That's what I would try to do. Try to cleanse yourself, get your energy all nice and cleansed out, and try to think of some positive things. I've been just watching motivational YouTube videos. That helps. That Denzel Washington. They have a bunch of them. Oh, well, thank you. I just braided my hair. That was it. I just got out of the bath and braided my hair. But thank you. It's easy to do. But thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, now Queen. I don't see your question, Queen. Okay, how does Amari feel about me? All right, let's see what Amari feels about you. I tried to come in a little earlier today. I just didn't feel good yesterday, but I feel better today. All right, you and Amari are in a first quarter moon. And this talks about commitment that's being tested. You know, people having questions and stuff like that and opinions. Sometimes my mom used to tell me all the time opinions were like, I don't think I say the word, like a-holes. Everyone has one. And they seem to. This is true. Anyways, you got also a new moon in Cancer on that. And it just talks about being safe, you know, with you and the people you love, which is good. At least there's, you know, no one's being harmed and things like that, so that's good. And there's no bad intentions with a new moon in Cancer, so that's even better. And then you got a wax crescent moon talking about having faith. I don't know. I'm thinking this guy, this Amari, is just, he's making sure that you really care about him. He's very cautious. Very cautious. So I would just kind of just be careful. So that's what I would do. When people are being this cautious, they've been hurt before, and that's sometimes how it goes. All right. What is it? Ravija? All right. You want a general reading. Okay. I could do one. Yeah, he likes you. It's just he's making sure that things are where they're supposed to be, where he feels comfortable. That's what I'm picking up. But he does like you. He does, you know, I don't know about full love, but there's liking. It's a start. Love always blooms. You got to remember that. Because it just doesn't start out as love. All right. Oh, Chumba, thank you for all the nice comments. I appreciate it. I don't always tell everybody to put a comment down. If I just feel if you want to, you put a comment. If you don't, you don't. So, all right. Now, okay, did I get this? I got you, Ravija. Now, Chumbo. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Chumbo. Chumba. All right, Chumba. All right, did I miss anyone? Yeah, I don't think I missed anybody. I think I'm good. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I just come over here to try to spread a little bit of happiness because I feel on YouTube some of these videos they scare the hell out of me, especially these shark videos. I don't know if you guys ever seen them. They're all over YouTube. They'll say this person got eaten alive from a great white and just all kinds of stuff. And then the Carl Jung, that scientist he was a psychiatrist, but he studied like a lot of different stuff. Now he's all over YouTube. Him, I can vibe with that psychiatrist. I like to study brains and stuff, and I get it. And he is world renowned. And he was really good with empathic stuff. He actually studied and took care of a lot of empaths. This young guy, he's all over the. I'm sure you guys have seen him. It's like all over YouTube. That this psychiatrist, and he was must have been world renowned because he went through all over the world trying to get this Raven's head nice. But he went all over the world and got all these different patients, and they exhibited, I guess, apparently, when I was reading it, he said they exhibited high amounts of depression and stuff, and in their depression, they ended up healing themselves. And they say empaths can heal thyself. What do you want, Angel? I guess Angel's saying hello to everybody. I have very curious cats. I don't know. Sometimes I think that might be my problem. Why sometimes I get depressed is because of the whole empathic thing. He was talking about how empaths suffer, and I guess through their suffering, they they get real literal and they heal and they can get real powerful and they pick up like traits and things and just a lot of stuff. And it made sense. It made sense of what I go through on a daily. It really did. Because I've always had this problem. My mom always had me at psychiatrist all the time. She was very worried about me as a child. I literally seen this psychiatrist, and she cost like $200 an hour every time we went. And my dad would bitch all the time about it because he just didn't think I needed that, and she did. And sometimes, if you have the wrong psychiatrist or psychologist, I don't think they're that understanding at times. So, um, my family on the other side told me last time I had an older woman who passed over because she's worried about me. The family. Yeah, I can do that. Dead people are my forte. Let's bring this over. I actually made this crystal. I grew it and everything. I tried to grow more, but I don't think I had the right temperature. Then I tried to put them in the microwave, and I don't know. I got to redo all of my strategies and try to get another good crystal. But this one seems to channel good. This crystal. So let's see here. What is going on with the dead people in your life, Chumba? Oh, yeah, I know. I know the feeling. I'm just glad I could talk to the dead people. I talked to my mom today. I did. I talked to my mom, and since my dad passed, I talked to him, and he tells me all the stuff that's going on with this Vincenzo guy. And apparently, he's not leaving until everything is done and over with. So he's nice enough to come. You're jealous. He's nice enough to come and when like non-private hours he comes in visiting hours, but he literally comes every day until I get his ashes and get the house taken care of and all this. And he goes and spies on people. And then my mother, of course, she's the busybody, she's with him too. Yeah, I mean, I did ask. I did clinically die like twice, and I just came back, and each time my mom said, "You're not leaving." And somehow I got healthy. This is how my life goes. Sometimes it's a curse and a gift to talk to the dead. It makes you very weird. And then people don't like to talk to you because you couldn't see them like a mirror. It's weird. And then when you talk to them, it's like you can see in their soul if they're lying or not. And You don't make many friends in this world like that. Not at all. There's a lot of people that really, really dislike people. So, yeah. I don't know if I'd be jealous of what I got. I'm always depressed. I'm always walking on the edge of life and death. Sometimes my energy gets so damn drained. I gotta draw out things, and I get exhausted. I'm not gonna lie. So, oh, you could do it. Oh, I am weird. I'm weird as they come. I mean, once you've been dead, you don't unsee the dead. I mean, people don't tell you that. They really don't. Some people see shadows, but I'm very perceptive. I don't ignore the shadows. I talk to them because I'm not afraid if the shadows are dark or light, because I know darkness can't touch you unless you will it. And if they're there, they got to leave if you tell them to leave, and that's it. And some people that have abilities get scared. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you can see them in shadows and they communicate. Even if you can't talk to them, they always communicate in different ways. If I know if you get, they used to say in ancient times, like I want to say Babylonian, they used to call them dream crystals a lot. And I'm trying to think of the exact mineral it is. It's a black stone, and you could like it. I forgot what it was. It's not the volcano one. It's a black crystal, and if you take it and you put an item around the energy of your the person you're trying to communicate with. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's it. If you just take it and you put, like, if you have a piece of any kind of belongings they had when they were alive, and you put it around that and put it under your pillow, they say they could come to you in your sleep, and they'll come to you in your dreams, and you call on them as you go to sleep, because apparently I've been watching a lot of these videos. When we're sleeping, we're technically dead because our cord goes out of our body and we go to sleep. So technically you're dead, but you're dead but resting. And resting, technically, it brings you in the other. But I would do that and maybe call on them, and sometimes they come as actual form, and sometimes they give you a dream. I know that. And then that's just ancient stuff. I'm talking about like way more than 1300. I'm talking about BC times, when one of the earliest cultures, and Egyptians did it too. That's what they would do. The Egyptians would put that stone, and they would try to get a hold of the pharaohs that passed and this and that. And they say it works. So you could give that a try. I mean, ancient Egyptian is, I like their practices. I really do. Yeah, I study weird stuff like this. I'm weird. I do. I study all of it: ancient Babylonian, ancient, anything ancient. Mesopotamian is really, they're really spiritual. And it was a time when Christianity and all this wasn't a thing. And people didn't really believe in heaven or hell. They believed in wherever your energy is, it returns to. Like, if you're always negative, it goes to a negative place. If it's always positive, it goes to a positive place. So people would sleep with these different stones under. They would just have crystals, and they would always try to get good energy. And then somehow, you may you make me want to know everything. Oh, I'm not a teacher. I just study a lot of things because people lie to you. They lie to you, Chumba. They do. And you got to study history. You could study. I have studied a lot in college, but since I've been out of college, I've been studying. I've been studying religious history, ancient religious history, and current religious history. And from what I have found, in all of my travels of studying, is that in the what they do now is they tell you to believe this or that, but the thing is they just don't let it tell you how to get a good energy flow. And I don't know why. They tell you that you have to say this prayer, that prayer, and you absolutely don't. You don't. You just have to, your energy has to be compatible to get to that. Oh, you're 56? Oh, I'm 51. I'm not that wise. I just study a lot. And I study a lot because you have to. Like I said, people lie to you. And then they talk about this God and that God. I'm not sure if I believe there's just one God. I will say that. I believe there's energy, but I don't believe there's all of these deities and this and that. I believe that when we pass, I believe when we go to the other side, we never truly die. We just kind of transform. And sometimes you see these great people when you do die. And the thing is, I think that they're just like us, but they're more spiritually evolved. So, I believe they're a god? No. I believe they're spiritual evolved? Yes. I do believe there's a light energy and a dark energy, and I do know that you do not want to have so much dark energy because whatever you put out there, you get back. So if you go around murdering a bunch of people and just doing horrific things, it does catch up to you. And if it don't catch up to you in this life, it does the next one. Or just simply, even when you die, you get surrounded by negative energy, and then it's not a good journey with negative energy because once you hit the abyss, it could get really ugly if you got a lot of negative energy around you because there's a lot of bad spirits around that. Oh boy. But if you have good energy, those bad spirits can't even touch you. That's the thing. And it's wonderful because you just go by, cruising by these bad spirits, say, hey, see you later, like you're going through a drive through. So a lot of times you can have your family members. When I went through the abyss, my mom was with me. It's always, and I called on her. You could call on people when you die. You can. And they come. They really do. Especially if it's a relative or somebody you cared a lot about. Because this is what the dead do. They watch us and that's it. You want to be with them? You will. I will too. But if you're not dead, then they don't want you yet. And that's just all there is to it. When I was dead, I didn't want to come back. My mom said that it wasn't my time. Sometimes they need an event that is important that you're living to happen before you die. So, oh, good afternoon, Bill. Oh no, nobody can get a date for their death, Chumba. Nobody. That is just the Reaper's domain. That's it. And then he is a force of nature. I like to say he, but it's not really a he or she. But in my mind, he's a he. And it's okay to think this. It is because we all have our way of how we recognize things. We do. We do. Every day you recognize God looking one way, and that's how you do. You had to ask. I would tell you if I could, but no. The Reaper, I have met him once or twice, but he's not going to tell me nothing like that. Trust me. But anyways, on your relatives. All right, this is Chumba, right? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, Chumba. All right, you're this. I think you were the one with the relatives. Okay. All right, I'm getting a full moon in Taurus with that, and I'm picking up from my mom that it's a lady that you're seeing, and she wants you to, and she wants you to watch your money. If that makes any sense to you. I'm picking up when you knew her, she was older. I want to say, like, when she passed, she was about 60 or 70. I'm picking up grandmother or something. Something like that. And then the blue moon surround her and the full moon in Aquarius. The blue moon just has hope. She wants you to have hope. And then the full moon in Aquarius just means showing the world who you are inside. And I'm picking up she always told you this as a child and as you were growing up. So that's what I'm picking up on that. Which is good. I mean, this is what grandmothers do. They always are trying to do that, so. Oh, it was 60. But yeah, I mean, oh, okay. I'm glad everybody knows each other. All right, Rose. Okay, Bill. Yeah, you can ask a question, Bill. Hey, Rose. You hope you. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well, Rose. Because of you guys, I mean, I get shocked. They come in here, and I got one or two more subscribers, and I didn't think I'd get this far. I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot to compete with over here on YouTube. There's the Black Veil Brides. There's all these artists. There's professional oil painters over here that could draw somebody blindfolded. There's a lot of competition over here. There's all those people interviewing and going into other countries. It's a lot. I don't expect anything when I come up here. I don't even ask you guys to subscribe because, I mean, my content goes with or without the money you guys, YouTube would give me or not. So to me, it doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Yeah, my mom passed away when she was, I think 49. No, not 49. She was early 40s. She ended up having an aneurysm. It was like 42. My mom died. And my dad just passed at 76 recently. So it's a tragedy when family dies that you're so close to. So it really is. You want to know, Rose, you want to know if you'd be able to go to do. Okay, hang on. Let me go up this way. All right, Rose, you want to know you can go direct PhD abroad after my bachelor's. You're trying to do everything you could get there, but you're in self-doubt. Yeah, I can do the cards on that. I mean, don't ever doubt yourself. Ever, Rose. Because everybody's meant to do great things. It's just the universe wants us to put work in our path. That's how that goes. Even me. And I mean, even down to nobody gets out of this. Nobody. I don't care how rich or poor you are. Everybody has to do work on their path. That's why they always say we are but a blade of grass in the universe. Nobody's special. Nobody. But some people always think they are. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do an educational. I'm just going to do a reading on your education. Just do that. Let's see what we get here. All right. You got a full moon in Taurus. And Taurus is always about money and saving money and stuff like that. And I do see you getting this, but I see that there's going to be a lot of maneuvering of money and things like that, which there always is when you talk about a bachelor's and PhD and this and that. So, and then you got a full moon in Aquarius and a third quarter moon. It's very interesting. The full moon Aquarius will tell you to. It's always like like your inside and showing the real you, but maybe show the world your strength and your talent in your field. That type of thing. And possibly you might get a scholarship or just an opportunity for something. So you can get a little faster there. And then you got a third quarter moon also. And this talks about adjustments. I feel it's just going to be money adjustments. I actually feel you're going to be fine with your grades and everything. It's just going to be gathering up your money. But it's not saying you're not going to get it. So maybe just try to get a game plan on how you're spreading out this money, payment plans, or financial aid, or however it's going. That's what I'm getting. But I do see you succeeding in your career. I do. So you just got to get there because it is expensive. I had to pay $10,000 out just for a medical assisting degree. And that's a lot. And then they charged me interest. So that 10,000 over years turned out to be more than I can handle. It was like 5 tax returns they took from me until I paid it all off. So keep that in mind because sometimes it gets really, really, it can get, especially when it comes to buying books and stuff. It's ridiculous how much book prices are here. It really is. Okay, there's here. A raven's eyes is very. It can be a difficult draw. It's a circle, so I'm gonna do the circle, and when I finally get this in with the pastels, I'm going to try to shade it in with the white. And if you take your pencil and you go real light this way, it looks like fur. Because I've been trying to, I truly have been trying to get some of this stuff done. Like some of these really good professional artists they have around here. And they have them, oh my God. They're just amazing. There we go. You just want to get some of these fine-tuned lines where you start the pastels. You really do. Besides work and all my residents telling me how to draw and kind of things like that, I have self-taught myself. All right. I'm gonna do this so I can get. I'm gonna try to get like some spooky, cloudy stuff, or because ravens have that kind of lore. I'm gonna get the raven lore with this. I like ravens. They're on the mirror test. Ravens are one of the smartest animals on the planet. They really are. They actually have funerals, folks. They have been said, people said that they have seen ravens doing a funeral. And I think they say orcas did too, because they said that one of the orcas died, and one of the rescuers said that they think that they were having a funeral because they were trying to hold up the orca, and they all swam around them. And then the orca ended up falling to the bottom of the ocean, dead. So, and he wasn't attacked or anything. They just think that this orca was old. But honestly, I'm thinking either we're on their territory. I got this so far. See how basic these things look until you get them better. That's how basic it all looks. And just to get it to the painting stage, I'm thinking once I have done oil stuff, oil paintings and stuff, but once I get a little bit, I want to say just a little bit cultivated with it, I'm going to start up that again because I really like oil painting, but I think I'm still going to sketch it out on the canvas. I feel that would be fun. And it seems to be the way I like to do things instead of just sitting there like Bob Ross and just knowing where to put the paint. I've done sketching for so long, I think I'm going to have to sketch on the canvas. Oh, thank you. Who drew a picture for her little girl? Oh, yeah, I am a beginner. I really am. But you know what? It is fun. And I always tell people that even if you don't think you can, why not try? Because drawing is fun. It's really one of my favorite things to do. I think that if you kind of live your life where you're doing more creative things within your reach, I think you live a more satisfied life. I'm just putting these little leaves and cultivating, putting these feathers and making them this way. I'm just doing like different kinds of feathers. Ah, well, thank you. Yeah, Elsa, I'm taking questions. Yeah, it is free. I don't know why. I really don't understand why people charge, but I guess everybody has to make a living. The way I look at it, before I came here, I had a job. I worked medical, so it is what it is there. I mean, it's fun being up here. It really is, but you don't know if you're going to succeed or not. So this is kind of like when I feel it's something if you already have a job and you're just trying to live your best life and you just say, why not? I'm going to see about YouTube. And it's not for everybody. It's not. Live streaming, I study techniques on live streaming actually on Facebook. And I realized there was different kinds of live streaming. Like Facebook is more of your social live streaming, and then they have the people lecturing you live streaming. You got to kind of see, and then they got political live streaming, and that is a thing. That is a true thing. I don't think I did see Bill Clinton when he came to my college many moons ago, and he did the speech, the bridge of to the future, and I actually did like Bill Clinton. I really did. I don't know. I thought he was a very handsome man too. I can see why he got involved in the sex scandal. And when you see him in person, I mean, I had to give Secret Service folks do a background check on me just to buy tickets. And then I was at the college and I was a student at the college. I took my son, my oldest that's 31 with me when he was 2, and I took my grandma with me. Because how many times in your life are you going to see the president, future president of the United States, you know? So we went and it was fun. I liked it. I really did. I like to say sometimes you just got to live life. Whatever opportunity you get for a little bit of fun stuff, I just say go for it. You know, I paid for the tickets and we went. I mean, yeah, every president I feel has their flaws, but you're seeing something that's part of history. And to see something that's that much great part of history, why not? Like the Berlin Wall. I mean, everybody that witnessed the Berlin Wall when I was younger, I think you would know. I think it was Bill. Was it Bill? That's 56 years old. He would understand. He knows what I'm talking about in Russia when they took down that wall because they were communist and the whole world was there and they were selling bricks from the wall. It was a really emotional time, you know, when people are kind of, you know, they had shitty stuff and the world takes attention. And the world took attention. There was people with machine guns because it was on TV in the United States because our troops were there. And there was people with machine guns on the other side of that wall. And they took down that wall. Even Mother Teresa, God bless her soul, she's dead. She's a saint, I believe now. But Mother Teresa was there praying for those people. It was a big time. It was a big time in the world. And if enough people gather and care about a cause, things get done. And then I remember, I think it was 10 years ago in Egypt. They had a thing. Oh, you remember Chumba? You remember Egypt when they were that one president that didn't want to leave office, and it hit world news. I'm sure you do. But and all the Egyptians, they didn't go to work or nothing because the guy just did not want to leave office. So everybody was like, okay. And they all literally went to the Capitol and protested, and they were trying to like tear gas them to get them away and stuff. And they stood there, and they were getting, you know, they weren't getting shot, but they definitely were getting like, I think it was they were getting gassed and everything, but they kept at it. Each person did not care. They wanted him out because he wanted to be a dictator. And God, if I can remember his name. I don't know if you remember the name Chumba, but I know I'm sure you've seen it. It was all over. And it was a nice time because that person left. They did not and it was because the whole country stood protest. Now in America, sometimes I think everyone's a little weak when it comes to that kind of stuff. I hate to say it, but they get worried about their gas, who's good, and this and that, and they don't really worry about things like that. I mean, it wouldn't happen, but when bad things happen, sometimes Americans just kind of they scatter instead of gathering. But you remember them though. I'm sure you did because it was such world news, and I ended up crying because everybody just, I don't know, they just rose together and it was so emotional and it was so nice just to watch everybody come together. And they did it for one unifying cause, and damn if they didn't get what they wanted, they sure the hell did. Those people were It was great. They stood together strong and they made it. And really, you got to stay together strong in the world. That's why that's why there's so many births in the world, because people are meant to gather. You're not meant to be brainwashed, you're meant to gather, and you're meant to have your own free thought. You really are. Because what else can you do, you know? Because I believe in free thought. I really do. All right, I got this so far. Oh, okay. They know that. Oh, you got a psychic readings. Oh, okay. Well, I got that so far. Well, hello. I'm glad I attract so much fun people. I really do. I mean, I just live in Ohio. I don't live in a horse town, but it is one of the older cities in the United States. It's not so old where it's like down south, like on the Holler or anything, but I mean, there's a lot of horse buggy rides, I'll tell you that much. I'm not in one of these cool cities. Although the other day at the fair, they had this fair going on, and one of the kids brought a gun. And they ended up shooting the other kid in the abdomen. So, nobody died, but usually it doesn't happen where I'm at, but people in the world are getting, I don't know, a little corrupt, especially the younger generation, because these were kids, and I'm talking minors. I don't even know how they got the gun. I guess what, and then from what I heard on the news blogger, it was one kid they were fighting with the one kid, and he didn't know how to defend himself, so he got his gun out and shot him as he was beating him up. At this point, if you're at, and I live real close to this fairgrounds that it happened. And my thing is, if I was that person, I probably would have just let him beat me up, and the cops would have been there very soon. So, oh wow, look at that! I like Stephanie from Fire Terror too, but everybody's subscribed to J.A. Romero Psychic Readings. I know she probably knows a lot about stuff, like all the planets and stuff. See, this is where I lack her palm reading. I wish I could palm read. I mean, all I talk to is dead people. But palm reading seems like a really cool ability to have. I do get jealous of palm readers. Alright, now I'm going to start with little feathers down here. I feel if you draw spiritual animals and stuff, sometimes it brings you good luck. And the raven, I like the raven because the raven is very spiritual. It is involved in death. That's why Edgar Allan Poe and all the greats talk about a raven, because they're very intelligent. And then they said that about dogs. I keep seeing these videos about dogs, and of course, I love dogs. I'm trying to get a dog shelter because I know I sure the hell can't afford one, but I'm hoping YouTube gives me money for one. But regardless of that, they were saying that this scientist guy, was studying dogs, and I guess I don't know if he was how he was meditating. I don't know how it happened, but he was a great researcher. Oh, hi, Christina. And I guess when he was dreaming and he did all those little experiments, he had a revelation and just started foretelling stuff. And he foretold that dogs would help people. There'd be service dogs and all this. And this was before all this happened. We're talking 1940s and 30s when this guy was around. And everything this guy said came true. It's crazy. And they said that dogs are more spiritually enlightened to help us. And they say certain spirits are going into these animals to help us because some of us are getting too corrupt. And the other side, they said, wants to help us. Of course, they want to help us because they were one of us before. So, these kind of things happen. But I find it interesting because my dog does look at me at times. And I do understand what he's saying at times. I just get because they said that you could read your dog, like their emotions, if they're real close to you. And I think I can read his emotions. I mean, we're very close. I mean, I let him lay in my bed at night. I don't care. I just wash the sheets, and he's a black lab German Shepherd mix, so he doesn't shed as much. And I'm always cleaning, so I don't care. I know that sometimes the husband, when we first got him, said you gonna let him on the bed, and I was like, I don't know, and then I just was like, oh, why not? He's just like a person. I mean, to me, so we just let him on the bed, and I just feel that they just want to be included. I'm just getting all the shading of my feathers done before I start this. It's so important to shade. And I think that's the most hardest part about drawing because sometimes, depending on how you're looking at it, the shading gets different. Like sometimes you want to go up and around, sometimes you don't. Like I'm going up and around in there, and then sometimes you want to shade down. It kind of depends on how you got your sketch. And it took me about a good year and a half to figure out where to start my shading. Because shading never ends. Even with oil paints, you shade with the colors. I will say that. And it's just, at least when you're at this level, you can erase. You cannot erase on a canvas, obviously, so you gotta be super careful. And when I mean super careful, I say super careful because sometimes that's just how it be. I'm just coming down here. And I even asked my little art teachers, laugh out loud, that were dying about shading, and they said that you get your own style of shading. And they can't describe. I mean, they showed me like how just like shade pastels and different things, but you kind of get your own kind of details down in your own method. You really do. It just takes a minute. All right, we got that. All right, I put this so far here. And that's just shading it out, really. And I like the pastels when you're shading because you can see all the good shading as you're going along. And then you can get the colors in, especially if you're just doing these kind of sketches. Oh, well, thank you, Chubba. You're like, I don't know, you're just like a awesome cheerleader over there. I'm so happy that you're involved in the live stream. I do. I try to keep it basic. I do. Some of these I don't talk ill of anybody, but some of these guys I think are too eager. They act like it's their full, maybe it is their full-time job. I don't know. I mean, there's some live streamers. There's one that does repo and stuff, and he mentions it once or twice, but some of these guys mention it over and over and over. Subscribe to me, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just thinking to myself, I get it. You want a subscription, but if you don't talk to people and you don't put out stuff that people like or have the personalization, who's going to subscribe to you? You just because you're here doesn't mean you get a subscription. I mean, they say there's 100,000 YouTubers or more, and I do believe that number. I thought I read something around that with YouTube. So if you figure that kind of correlation, there's 100,000 plus creators. I mean, then you'd have to get personal with the crowd and find out who's going to like you, what your target audience is, and you just can't go around saying subscribe to me. I don't know. These are just my random thoughts because when I go through YouTube, if I like the content and when I listen to my little weird stories and I think they did a really good job putting that video together, F yeah. I go and I hit subscribe, smash it, and there we go. My favorite is the stories about just the old stories, like they have them like about the medieval stuff. They have one about like the sex practices of the ancient Egyptians and just different things. Whatever you feel out there and you got a question about, YouTube has an answer for you. And I will say this with a sincere heart, and I'm glad they have an answer because I got a lot of questions all the time. And then on the all the inbreeding ones I was watching too, I like those because I am interested in DNA. I'm very interested in it. And some people kind of ruin their DNA along the way. And I am from the South. Well, my family is. I'm from the North in Ohio, but anywho, I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell did my ancestors do with some of these? I guess apparently they got a round eye. Alright, now I'm going to do this. I want to. You could do this with your pencil with eyes. I do that. You can like rub it in here. And then take your pencil like that. Eyes are funny. You gotta shade them right or they just don't come out right. I like to do that just with a little flick of my finger like that. And here we go. It just looks like the Etsy one. Oh, do I know about the Civil War? I have been to Gettysburg. I used to go Gettysburg all the time, Chamba. I used to go ghost hunting at Gettysburg. Love Gettysburg. The Civil War is my favorite war. I feel bad for the South because of everything the North did to the South. I get they had slavery going. I get it, but some of the children, because they had 16-year-olds fighting. I'm sure you know that, Chamba, because I'm going to take a picture of this before I do this. But if you're a history buff like me, you already know that story. How they had all those 16-year-olds fighting. And the thing is, okay, that's going to be a post, folks. But anyways, you have all these little kids fighting. And that was the last battle. And then the North sits there and goes, oh, we won. Well, what the hell do you think was going to happen? I mean, you have a bunch of 16, and they were saying that some of the bodies they found in Devil's Den, because we went past there. And I just got a lot of little tiny, it looked like when our like right on the grass, like you seen little tiny orbs everywhere. And they just chopped up their bodies. These little kids. I mean, I think they should have been returned to the South, to their parents. I think it was terrible what the North did, just because I get it. There was a horrible war going, but these were children. And I'm sure their parents would have liked to bury their kids. But the North was so cruel that they didn't allow this. And the thing is, they were children. And they wonder why that's one of the most haunted spots in America. It's on the list. And I'm sure you know that. But this is what the government did at that time because it was brother against brother. That was what was so sad about that war. The Revolutionary War I could see because we're fighting for independence from Britain. I could almost get that, but the fact that all the little kids had all that going on, and I can just imagine being a child with all the adults around, just going around and just acting like idiots and stuff. There was no rules to that war, and a lot of the health practices. Oh, hi, Michael. How you doing? I want to say the healing practices were so primitive. They were showing the nursing part. I almost fell over. I'm in nursing, so I was like, OMG. They actually went there with us. And it was sad. It was sad how they treat. No wonder half of the people got gangrene and everything else. There was nothing clean about. I mean, the nurses did what they could. I mean, what are you gonna do? You have limited stuff, but it was sad. These guys just sat there and they just a lot of times just they tried to they try to give them pain stuff and everything, but their pain stuff back then, I don't even know if you call the painkiller stuff. They just gave you some whiskey and chopped it off. And it's crazy. It's crazy that had to happen, but I guess things happen in the world like that. I guess what are you gonna do, right? But it was sad. It's the saddest war that we ever had. And I study war because the thing is, if you study war, I feel like you kind of understand things better in full context. I mean, obviously Vietnam was a political war. It was nothing more than a political war, Vietnam. It really was. Vietnam, they called it a conflict when we lost. And why? Because they didn't want to pay the veterans. Because if they would have got full benefits, if they would have fully said it was a war, so since they didn't win, instead of just calling it war and letting these veterans get their GI loans and stuff for being there, they decided to call it a conflict and save some money and move about their business. Was it right? No. I think it was downright terrible, personally. But what are you going to do? Alright. I'm going to make this kind of blue up here. But yeah, I do love it. I am a warmonger. I've always been a warmonger. I brought my kids to Gettysburg a lot of times. I know that, I think in Virginia, I think that was for the Revolutionary War. I wanted to go hit Virginia for that. And there is other places, but Gettysburg's the most famous because the last war happened there. So, eventually I'll get over there one day to Virginia. It's not as popular, though, they say. Because they have all the statue at Gettysburg, so that's how that goes. I'm just trying to blend all these pretty little colors in with my raven here. Sometimes I like to put a couple in the background. I feel that's fun. See, it's only an hour, and I think I did better with this bird than I did with my other raven. My other raven, I want to say, was kind of crappy. I do because I thought I could have done better. I really did. It was okay, but I honestly think I could have done a little better. I do. I rub the hard pastels, the and circles, and sometimes I like to do different colors in the background. See, it looks like a painting now. I feel it just pops out when you're a sketch artist. I feel like this could be your best friend. Is these kind of paints. I really do. All right, I'm gonna take this lighter blue and put up here and mix it with this, and it's less messy. I do prefer to do pastels, but I like to challenge myself in other ways. But I do prefer to do pastels, though. It is one of my favorites, but I like to know everything about a subject, so all these free canvases that I got from my friend, I feel that's going to be my go-to here. And once I get my other friend, whenever she gets her crazy butt over here, my oil painting friend. Oh, hi, Paul Carl. How you doing? A long time no see. How you been? There we go. See, I'm not going to do anything like any more color on the inside of this raven because I feel it's completed. Because you can still see the pretty lines in there. So, and it's nice. And it's nice because you add a color. Now, the sketches can be nice, yeah, but it doesn't feel all the way done if there's no kind of color. And I like pastels because they remind me of crayons, just adult crayons. And I know some adults that actually still use regular crayons. I won't deny that. Some of my coworkers from work it was my scheduler. She goes, because she knows I pastel paint. She goes, "Oh, I love coloring." Oh, yeah, they are. Ravens are the most intelligent. I think they are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard that they're the most intelligent in the mirror test. If it's not, I want to say chimpanzees also. It's them and chimpanzees, or they're like both the same, or the raven's the smartest. I couldn't tell you. Or they're just equal. But, oh yes, these guys, I would not want to piss off a raven. No, I would not. I feel it would give you a bad day if you pissed off a raven. They probably, especially if you did something to them. I know that the elephants, I was watching a YouTube video and they said there was these elephants. And there was a poacher, I guess, apparently, that killed one of the elephant's babies. And then they were having a funeral for the poacher. And I guess these elephants came and trampled through his funeral. And then, right where the dead poacher's body was, they trampled him too. And then trampled like the tent, or I forgot it. I think it was a tent. It was outside. It was Africa. But they trampled that down too. Oh, wow. That's awesome. They don't. I think elephants are just as intelligent as ravens. I really do, personally. That's what I think. I mean, it's just an opinion. An opinion. Everyone has one, but I think elephants are very clever. I think they should redo the mirror test, and I think elephants would be probably sitting right next to ravens with their intelligence, because those guys are very smart. There's a lot of documentations of those guys being as smart as they are. So, but yeah, you can ask a question, Joba or Jola, maybe Jola. I think. Yeah, you can ask a question. Oh, John. Okay, I didn't. I can't see the age. Okay, your name means John. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't see an age. I wish I knew another language. I tried to learn Spanish. That went very bad for me. My teacher felt bad because I did get the hang of Spanish a little bit, and I ended up getting like a C minus because I knew some of the words, but I did not. Oh, it does look like Pippi. You gotta try new things, but yeah, I tried Spanish. I couldn't pronounce any of the words. That's why I got a C minus, because you gotta at least be able to pronunciate a couple of the words. But they speak so fast, and I don't know if you guys ever dealt with a Puerto Rican that was mad. I had a lot of Puerto Rican friends time to time when I was younger, and they get mad and they talk really, really fast, and they give you this look like they're going to murder you when they're mad. And it's crazy. And you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. You don't. Because a Puerto Rican doesn't play. And I swear to God, I've never seen Spanish go so fast in my life. They literally have a whole conversation within under 2 minutes, saying like it seems like 5,000 words. And they get crazy, and they always talk about knives. These Puerto Ricans, my Puerto Rican friends, they don't really talk about guns. They just be like, "Oh, I'll cut you," and they get all nasty and they get crazy. Or they just try to get they try to come at you sometimes, and it's like, oh wow. English is very slow. That's what I like about English. I it is, they say, really hard to learn because of the all the pronunciations and all of the different rules, the language rules and stuff, and adverbs and stuff. And just to read it, we have a lot of English has a lot of rules to it. That's what I heard. So probably it's good that English is my first language, because I don't know if I wasn't born in an English speaking country if I would got English, because I sure the hell can get Spanish. So, but I did try. All right, you want to know, John, if Danella will declare her love for me? Oh, he's sleeping. He is sleeping. He had some fish. I don't. I guess dogs like fish. I didn't. I don't like fish, and I heated up this meal, and it was fresh fish, but I gave it to Chong and his dog food, and I didn't think dogs liked fish. He ate fresh perch, and he enjoyed every minute of this damn perch. I just thought it was gross, and I didn't want to throw it away, so I gave it to him. I figured, I know he gained 5 pounds, but he sure ate it, and they say it's good for you. And I give him fish oil all the time. I do. But I actually stepped up my game a little, and I have a computer, so I don't have my phone where I could just bring it that way. I'm trying. And I got my fancy computer on Amazon, and it was cheap. I do promote them. Some people, my friends, tell me they won't buy computers at Amazon, but I didn't have a problem with it. If I have to return something, I know how to return it. So, because I stay home Monday through Thursday. All right, John, this Danella, and you are in a muddable moon, and this talks about nothing being set in stone, which could be good. It could go one way or the other. It's not a definite no, it's not a definite yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's two of them. You see the other one? Here. All right, there we go. They're sisters. They're rescues. I rescued both of these. One's Ragdoll Siamese, and this is her sister. They're both mixed with calico. But this one over here looks more Ragdoll Siamese. But they are cute. But anyways, John, you're in a muddable moon with your lady love here, where things can go one way or the other. And then you got a south node that's surrounding this, and this talks about not letting the past hold you back. And that just means possibly something that may have happened and just letting bad events go in your life. And then a full moon in Leo. And this is talking about pride getting in your way. So I'm thinking the only reason that I'm picking up that she hasn't said she cared about you is she's afraid. Okay, what is your issue, Angel? Oh, okay, I guess she's sniffing her sister. That cat has more issues. She is so vocal, this one. For being so small and cute, she's so loud at times. The only thing that's louder than her is Chong when he starts barking. Crazy. Okay. You love her so much, never felt something like this. I get you. I get you. Love can really rip your heart out. I will tell you that. It can. Love is, I don't know, it's our driving force for reproduction, but then we crave it for companionship and everything else. So, 2 years now? These guys they were born at my other house. I rescued one cat. She ended up getting pregnant. And these guys came out of litter, and I ended up all the other cats found homes. And I only had these two left when I was moving to this apartment. So I kept her, and I already was going to keep Gizzy. And Gizzy loved this kitten because they always stayed there when they were feeding with their mom, and they always laid together. So I ended up keeping her because Gizzy was closest to this sister. So, that's because sometimes they're around the house doing whatever they want to do, and lately they like to watch me. They like to watch me draw. It's one of the, I guess I'm their entertainment. Chong just lays in one of his beds. These guys I guess they're my cheerleaders. But this one's sassy right here. I call her Angel because I thought she's cute, and she is very cute, but she could be sassy. She's like a sassy D, but that one. This one is very nice, and she meows real soft. This one, she runs the show. They actually caught a mouse. I thought that was interesting. And our apartment buildings were really not. I'm not supposed to be having these cats, but I don't care. I just snuck them in because I love animals, and they do know about Chong, and I made him a service dog. But it's funny because she just like she be running the show. She'd be running back and forth and everything. And they do have their own room. I have like a little storage room in the back, and I got my son gave me a huge cat tree that like almost is goes up to the ceiling. He paid like $400 for this thing, and I put it back there. And I keep the door open, and then around nighttime, because I like to before I go to sleep, I like to know where the cats are to keep track of all my animals and stuff like that. And then I put them in their room, and they have a little air conditioner and everything in there. And the cats they do like their bedroom. They like to come out to socialize, but they do love that bedroom. They honestly do. What, Angel? What? I know, I know. Oh, Lord. All right. Well, I am going to take me a little break, and I'm going to come on again before the husband gets home. So I'm going to take another break to, go to the bathroom and get something to drink and stuff. And then figure out what else I want to do a quick draw with. And probably Angel and Gizmo will be here because she enjoys watching what I do every day. And thank you so much. Thank you for everybody for your support because you guys are awesome. Oh, I am getting better. I'm trying to come on here to earlier time because I realize that your time zone's probably later and mine's earlier because it's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, going actually 4:52, going on 5 o'clock p.m. So, and I think it's nighttime where you guys are at. So I do try to do that. So just give me like 20, 30 minutes and then I'll start at another stream. And then after that, I'm probably going to end up going to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. But I don't have to work 12 hours. So I will say that. So, oh, you're at 21. So, oh, okay. That's what time I'm at. Oh, okay. Gotcha. But yeah, give me like 20, 30 minutes because I know sometimes if I come in here at 8, 9 o'clock, you guys are exhausted because it's in the middle of the night. So I'm trying to be mindful of the time zones. It's a work of progress, but you know, thank you for everything and I appreciate you guys.